important for you to know that this poem is not about love. Because love is too complicated to have a poem written about it. Love is a loaded word. There is no one solidified meaning, no easy way to explain how it feels. Each person speaks of a different definition, and yet all of us are searching for it. Searching for this thing we once heard about in a fairy tale before our parents tucked us into bed. But it is not important for you to know what love is, because this poem is not about that. This poem is about you. See, when I was 14, I thought I could find love in that feeling I got when an attractive woman walked into a room. I used to write poetry about her, inserting the words soft-bodied goddess where her name should have been. I would go into detail about how sexy she was and how she had abs that lined up like 8 stones from the yellow brick road to which I would follow to the Wizard of Whatever and never go home, because there's no place like her. At 17, I thought I could find it between the sheets when bodies began to blend together and words were not the thing we used our mouths for. Thought I could stop looking when your breath lay heavy and helpless on my neck, that I didn't have to keep searching because you would not give yourself to me unless it was for love. But this poem is not about that. This poem is about you. As the years passed, I began to know the many faces love wears. I learned that it is complicated and unforgiving. It is prideful and struts around like a peacock, showing off its feathers that bear no repetition. Love takes no prisoners. It is independent like a snowflake and cannot be bribed for you to have your way with it. It is like a cancer that spreads and has no cure. It is beautiful. So beautiful that for years I prayed it might finally find me worthy of its secret, that it would lean over and whisper into my ear, I give in to you and you may now conquer me. Back then I was naive enough and young enough to think that this could work, a poor fool unaware of what I was looking for. But this poem is not about that. This poem is not about love. This poem is about you. By the time I was 20, I had prayed so long I gave up on the idea that anyone was listening. My scarlet letter had been forever branded on my chest when it was split open, cracked open, ripped open, left open. The doctors said it was necessary. They told me the cancer had twisted its way up my organs and sought shelter under my flesh. Surgery was the only option. So you see, I didn't really have a choice then but to be left with a constant reminder that they were there, tattooed with the scars a razor blade makes. But you were different. I could see that you were necessary. You twisted pieces of yourself through my veins and sought shelter in my flesh. Surgery was the only option. You used tools that left no traces of your work. No stitches could sew up the incisions you made, left with a constant reminder that you were here and altered by the scars a soft kiss makes.
I've been waiting in the tallest tree for so long that I can hardly speak, and who's gonna get me down, and who's gonna get me down, and who's gonna get me down from me?
As the years passed, I began to know the many faces you wear. I learned that you are complicated yet forgiving. You are prideful and strut around like a peacock, showing off your feathers that bear no deception. You take me prisoner. You are uncomparable like a snowflake and cannot be bribed for me to have my way with you. You are like a cancer that spreads and has no cure. You are beautiful. You are the reason this poem is not about love, because love is too complicated to have a poem written about it. Love is a loaded word. There is no one solidified meaning, no easy way to explain how it feels. Each person speaks of a different definition, and yet all of us are searching for it. searching for this thing we once heard about in a fairy tale before our parents tucked us into bed. But it is not important to know what love is, because this poem is not about that. This poem is about you. This poem is about arguments that bring us closer together. This poem is about trust, about honesty that leaves lies with no breath to walk on. This poem is about sacrifice, about sex so good we are overcome by laughter. This poem is about moving forward every time we get scared, about revisiting our past and healing our childhood. This poem is about talking to each other using baby voices and embarrassing nicknames like when I call you cutie face, and you call me cutie pants. And when I ask you why you call me that, you say it's because I'm cute and I wear pants. Yes, this poem is about laughter because that's exactly what happens every time I'm around you and all I can do is smile. This poem is about you. This poem is about me. See, this poem is not about love. This poem is made from love. This poem is love. This poem is about us.